I recently just got all achievements on Warframe, but no one in my life really cares, so I thought why not just start yapping my proudest gaming achievements into the abyss. I'll also be talking about how much these accomplishments mean to me in the last chapter of the video, so if you want to, you can stick around and listen to my sob story. This video will be going from my least to most skillful accomplishments, so the first and latest one on the list is me getting all achievements on Warframe. After around 1228 hours of playing, I got all achievements on Warframe. If you want to know if Warframe is worth playing, here's a question for you. Do you want an extremely free-to-play game that is PvE, looks pretty and flashy, and has near unlimited repetitive and mediocre content to go through? If yes, then sure, go ahead. If your answer is no, I'd say stay away. On the topic of achievements, I also 100%ed these games. Hey. Next, I will be getting into the more challenging games I've beaten. The Souls games, all bosses, melee only, no summons, which includes Elden Ring, no DLC because no money. Yeah! Sekiro. Dark Souls 3, including both DLCs. Let's go. Lies of P. Both in the air. I also beat Jedi Survivor on Grandmaster difficulty, but I didn't go out of my way to beat all bosses because the difficulty is just horribly balanced. I also beat Cuphead while having no experience with platformers whatsoever. That wasn't a good time, I fucking hated Cuphead. I am also going through Baldur's Gate 3 right now on Tactician. I'm flying up. Oh god, why?
This is the saddest thing ever.
What the f— I also wanted to include SMT5 on hard difficulty here, but I couldn't finish it because the story is so nice. So those are the miscellaneous hard games I've beaten. Now I'm bringing it to my specialty, movement shooters. Holy shit! I'm not amazing at movement shooters, I just play them, so I'm just kind of guessing these feats are harder than the ones before. Starting from the game that I have the least impressive achievement on, which is ULTRAKILL. Oh my god, but personally with ULTRAKILL, this is kind of how I started getting better at movement shooters from basically zero experience, but overall I didn't do anything super impressive. I finished the main campaign on brutal difficulty and I only beat P1 and P2 on standard a year ago when I just started playing because I'm not fucked to grind out P ranks again. Brutal difficulty was actually pretty tough for me because when I came back a few months ago just to beat the game on brutal difficulty, including the new Act 7 levels, I've forgotten most of the tech, so it has been pretty tough, and it gets even worse when on this difficulty some enemies have double the damage, double the speed, double the health, have extra attacks. So yeah, to me it was pretty difficult, although it was nowhere near the hardest thing I've done in movement shooters. Next, we have one of, if not the hardest game campaign I have ever beaten. Turbo Overkill on Murder Machine difficulty. Turbo Overkill is a lesser known indie movement shooter and one of the only few movement shooters I can find besides ULTRAKILL, Doom Eternal, Echo Point Nova, and Neon White. And in this game, the hardest difficulty is Murder Machine, and it's pretty much the most difficult and most punishing difficulty I've ever played. To give you an idea of how hard this difficulty really is, here's a clip. Doom Eternal is next on this list, but I would say in terms of the difficulty, Murder Machine is definitely the more punishing experience. I beat Murder Machine without the quick swap RPGs where you can just spam millions of rockets and sniper shots. However, this game is incredibly fun, so if you're a huge fan of movement shooters like me, I will highly recommend this game. And it also has a banger soundtrack, but maybe stay off the Murder Machine difficulty and go for Serve Me Pain unless you are really confident in your movement shooter skills. And finally, we get to my main game. Doom Eternal is the movement shooter I've spent the most hours on. I have about 170 hours in the game. Obviously, I've beaten the main campaign, the DLC, the Horde mode, all on Nightmare. Other than that, I of course have beaten all master levels without using the chain gun shield, BFG, Crucible, Hammer, or the Unmaker. But I've also beaten Super Gorness and Mars Core master level on extra life mode, which gives you like 6 lives or something. If you have only beaten the original campaign or even just the DLC, let's just say that I can beat the DLC with 1 or 2 deaths. Stop yapping. The hardest master level by far is definitely the World Spear master level, purely because of how long it is. There are checkpoints with like 8 different rounds. This is also the only DLC master level, so there are just possessed demons and other DLC demons that will just destroy you if you aren't careful. With all that out of the way though, you might be wondering what else could I have done that is even more skillful than all of that. Well, it's what this channel is mainly about, of course, unless this video somehow explodes or something. It has been about 4 years since I started playing Mania now, and then last year I took like 8 to 10 months off, and I only returned to this game on the first quarter of this year. This is the only game that I actually play competitively, and here are some of my coolest scores.
Who TF is this dog eater?
So now that I've went through all of my milestones, there's one thing I should talk about too. I have a severe case of scoliosis, and due to stupid family drama reasons, I couldn't get a surgery for it, and I'm currently living with a spine that has 2 big curves and 1 small one, with the biggest curve clocking in at 65 degrees. I am completely unable to do normal exercise or sports that you might enjoy. My body is extremely weak. I cannot run 10 steps without my organs feeling extreme pain. I can't do a single sit-up. I used to be a competitive squash player when I was a kid, but such an intense sport that focuses on using one hand is not something I can do anymore. And this mainly ties into how much more difficult it is for me to play Mania, because Mania is a very physical game. To me, Mania is unironically an exercise, a sport. It makes me sweat. If I go too long or if I use the wrong muscles, my muscles start hurting a lot. Other than that, I also have sinus problems, making it really hard to breathe through my nose, which means I'm mostly a mouth breather, so you might be able to tell by my really annoying pauses or like inhaling and exhaling when I'm trying to talk here. That also affects my performance in more physical games, and I guess my brain is also dumb. And of course, finally, why these accomplishments are even done, why I play so many games, why these achievements mean so much to me. That will be my depression. I won't get too into it, but depression is a part of me for years now. It's undiagnosed at the moment, but I'm about to take a test for ADHD as well. And whether I have ADHD or not, I have severe problems when it comes to studying and paying attention in class. My failing grades and my lack of interest in anything academically, as well as just my horrible social skills, has become my main reason for depression. So gaming might be a silly hobby for most people, but to me, gaming is the only thing I have. It's the only time I ever felt like improving, only time I have done something that most people couldn't. When I look at myself and see how big of a failure I am, you know, not being able to do the things I am supposed to do, get good grades, get a good job, be a functioning member of society. I get pretty hateful of myself, but at least I can look at the accomplishments in this video and tell myself, hey, I've done these cool things. Even if they're meaningless, at least I worked hard on something that I love, and I've done things that, you know, some people might never be able to do even if they tried in their entire lifetime. That's all I have to say. Be nice to people. Bye.